as long as he continued to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter, a real fighter that can really fight, it's not gonna be that good.
And then by the end of the fight, it was clear this was a 58-year-old man, and he looked like a 58-year-old man. And I have a lot of issues with this. I don't think this fight should have ever happened. I think it says a lot of bad things about the combat sports world and sets a really dangerous precedent going forward. We're going to talk about the whole fight clearance approval process, and then just physiologically why he looked the way he did. There's a lot of just true anatomy and physiology changes that explain why Tyson looked so bad and play a role in why this type of thing should not happen. So how did this fight even happen or get approved?
Boxer, how do you feel like you get out of that bubble to make somebody a real boxer?
I mean, what he's doing is, I mean, kind of cool. If he can continue to steal money and they match him the way they match him, I can't knock his hustle. So if they can match him the way how they've been matching him, more power to him.
Champ, we appreciate your time.
Yeah.
No, we got to give, Nick, put the camera on PT. Yo, PT, man, we appreciate you. Thanks, P, for making this happen. P and Rilla, we appreciate the money team all the time, man.
Floyd Mayweather has called out Jake Paul after his fight with Mike Tyson. The 27-year-old outpaced the 58-year-old legend across 8 rounds, with Tyson's age visibly affecting his performance. Following the bout, Floyd Mayweather criticized the fight, accusing Jake Paul of stealing money by capitalizing on matchups with older or less competitive opponents.
So I'm proud of him. I'm not really upset. Even like, it was so crazy. I remember just a while back, his brother was like, "Oh, I didn't get paid. It was just like I said before. He just want to keep his name out there. You know, as long as he attached his name to mine, he gonna keep my name out there. Remember what he said? He said, Mayweather ain't on. He didn't pay me. Didn't pay me. Where's the lawsuit? If you didn't get paid, where's the lawsuit? So it's a bunch of bullshit. But like I said before, they know what they're doing. Both brothers.
Jake Paul dominated the bout, earning a unanimous decision. Many fans and analysts felt the spectacle lacked excitement. On Twitter, a user named E criticized the fight, stating, "One of the more depressing fights I have seen. I expected nothing much, and it delivered less." Jake also didn't look impressive. He could not knock down a 60-year-old with no knees. This sentiment echoed broader discontent about Paul facing significantly older opponents. Despite Tyson's resilience, his age and physical condition were apparent disadvantages, leaving some questioning the competitive integrity of such matches. Jake Paul reflected on his performance following his victory over Mike Tyson, highlighting his dominance in the ring. Jake remarked, "I didn't get much punched or hurt." This statement underscored his belief that he successfully controlled the bout. Jake, known for his flair for theatrics and promotion, labeled the event as the biggest fight out of Las Vegas. He also emphasized its wide-reaching platform, boasting about the fight being streamed on Netflix, a significant milestone in boxing's crossover into mainstream digital entertainment. Additionally, Jake flaunted the financial success of the match, claiming it made $1.8 million, which he referred to as the biggest historical fight.
Big as the what?
Why was Mike wearing assless chaps though? Did
that moment go viral with his cheeks out?
I don't know. It made my stomach hurt.
I was seeing it.
Why didn't he have
I was
underwear
ringside. He had a G-string on, is what he had.
I thought he was completely butt naked.
Nah, he looked like a stripper.
But yeah, biggest live gate, 18.1 millions in U.S. boxing history outside of Las Vegas. A phenomenal night. I'm sorry I didn't knock him out though, guys.
Shut the fuck up. It was crazy when we talked about this. I told him you were going to say some dumb shit. You did the right thing at the end. You bowed. You kept it classy. You was wobbled. You did your thing. You didn't get greedy.
While showcasing Jake's marketing prowess invited criticism, many interpreted his remarks as prioritizing financial gain over athletic competition. His focus on revenue and platform visibility overshadowed the concerns of purists who believe in the sanctity of boxing as a sport.
Yeah, after I seen him a little bit tired, I didn't want to put too much hurt on him, but I wanted the fans to get a good experience. But there was a point where all of my aggression and like super violence and like I'm gonna knock this guy out and show him, it went away when I wasn't getting hit much at all. And I don't know, I just
punches weren't doing it.
I love Mike.
Walk us through the whole thing, from the walkout to the fight to the post interview. Walk us through the whole fight from your point of view.
Yeah, this fight was just different. I feel like mentally locked in, like a lot less nerves than normal. I'm just getting so used to these moments. And honestly, fighting in a stadium there was less it's less personal.
Yes.
So, and it's less loud.
Combat sports journalist Ariel Helwani delivered a sharp critique of the fight's outcome, encapsulating the disappointment of many fans. He stated the only result on which people would have been happy was when Mike had beaten Jake Paul. This comment reflected the widespread sentiment that Jake's victory over a 58-year-old opponent lacked merit. Helwani's words resonated with those who felt the fight was an unfair mismatch designed to benefit Jake. Critics have long questioned the legitimacy of Jake's boxing career, accusing him of carefully curating opponents to maintain his undefeated record. This fight in particular symbolized these frustrations, with fans hoping for an upset by Tyson to challenge Jake's narrative of dominance.
Oh, he sucks, or oh, he carried him, and more on that in a moment. The only result that I think people truly would have been happy with is a Mike Tyson knockout of Jake Paul. I think that's the only one that would have sufficed, and that wasn't happening. There was never really any doubt. He landed a couple punches early on, but there was never really a question as to whether or not that would happen. I think Jake carried him. I think Jake didn't want to knock him out. I'm not sure if he could have, but he definitely took his foot off the gas last couple rounds for sure. And ultimately, I'm okay with that. I predicted a Jake Paul decision. I thought it would be a little bit more competitive to get to the decision.
The response from KKSI, a longtime rival of Jake Paul, further fueled the controversy. In a now viral screenshot shared by KSI News, the influencer turned boxer expressed his disdain, writing, "KSI goes off on Jake Paul after he beat 58-years-old Mike Tyson." KSI's discontent reflected the broader dissatisfaction with Jake's choice of opponent and the fight's perceived lack of authenticity. This reaction added a layer of rivalry to the discourse, as KSI and Jake have been embroiled in ongoing clashes over their respective boxing trajectories. Fans of both fighters debated whether KSI's criticism was justified or simply a continuation of their feud. Boxing icon Oscar De La Hoya weighed in on the fight, offering a different perspective. He described Mike Tyson as the dangerous live dog in this fight, emphasizing Tyson's enduring unpredictability despite his age. De La Hoya's comments underscore the respect that Tyson commands within the boxing community, even when facing criticism for his diminished physical capabilities. By acknowledging Tyson's potential threat, De La Hoya highlighted the complexities of the matchup. His statement stood in contrast to those who dismissed the fight as a one-sided affair, reminding fans of Tyson's legacy and the dangers he can still pose in the ring.
Everything turns out great when he fights Tyson. Who knows what happens there, because Tyson is a very, very dangerous live dog in this fight. But if Usyk decides and wins and decides to come back down to cruiserweight, then the suit of the fight is right there for him.
Devin Farmer's team believe that they won a very close fight. How did you score that, Oscar?
I had it 1 point up for William. He had the relentless style. He kept throwing punches.
The reaction from Fight Just Media encapsulated the disappointment many felt, posting a photo of Jake Paul with a referee raising his hand in victory. The media outlet wrote, "Jake Paul beats a 58-year-old Mike Tyson by unanimous decision 7-9-7-3-8-8-0-7-2-7-9-7-9-7-3 after 8 rounds of action. Honestly speaking, sad to watch. Let's all just move on and forget this ever happened." This post reflected the broader discontent with the fight, which many saw as a spectacle rather than a legitimate contest. The scorecards further highlighted the dominance of Jake, but for critics, the victory came at the expense of authenticity. When asked about the fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, boxing legend Bernard Hopkins refrained from providing an in-depth analysis. He stated, "I don't prefer to talk on that," and added, "Mike is a good Muslim friend of mine." Hopkins' Israel reluctance to discuss the fight highlighted the sensitivity around Tyson's legacy and the controversy surrounding the matchup. This response drew attention to Tyson's personal connections within the boxing world and the respect he continues to command. It also reflected a desire among some legends to avoid engaging with fights they view as undermining the sport's integrity.
I'm glad nobody got hurt, and I'm always glad in any fight when nobody gets hurt, but especially Mike. Mike's my, we've known each other for 40 years, and, I love the guy, so I just hope it didn't take away from the sport of boxing and the type of show we had here tonight with like 4 great fights out of the whole card. And we want fight fans to enjoy the fights, not just exhibitions.
Jake Paul's post-fight remarks and behavior became the subject of widespread mockery. Online critics suggested that Jake's confidence in his victory was misplaced. Many pointed out the lack of competitiveness in the fight, with some stating it was not a match that should have occurred in the first place. A notable tweet by Evan Greenfield humorist criticized Jake's attitude, sharing a photo of a person holding a trophy. Greenfield wrote, "Jake Paul, after he beats a 58-years-old Mike Tyson, had an Euler flare-up on a plane 2 months ago by decision." The tweet highlighted the perceived absurdity of celebrating a victory over a significantly older and and physically disadvantaged opponent medical professional Dr. Bryan delivered a scathing critique of the fight, arguing it should never have been sanctioned. He expressed concern over Tyson's appearance, pointing out the evident physical changes due to age. Dr. Bryan's remarks resonated with those who viewed the fight as a mismatch and potentially hazardous for Tyson. His criticism added a layer of seriousness to the debate, focusing on the ethical considerations of allowing such a fight to take place. The discussion extended beyond boxing into concerns about the health and well-being of athletes, especially older.
So how did this fight even happen or get approved? Each state has an athletic commission that governs licenses for combat sports. It's not a national standard, it's state by state, and there's a wide variety of medical clearance processes and rules in place from one state to another. That probably played some role in where this fight happened, because Texas has some of the more lenient medical clearance processes. So here you can see, if you're going to apply to get a license, you basically have to have a medical exam, you have to have some negative blood work, which is pretty self-explanatory. You have to have passed an eye exam within the previous 6 months. And if you are over the age of 36, you are considered a older competitor, and you have to have more favorable physical testing, limited, including EEG.
Adding to the chorus of disappointment, Twitter user Jay, we delivered a sarcastic take on the fight. They tweeted, "I think I got the wrong link for Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight." This remark echoed the sentiment of fans who felt the fight failed to live up to expectations. The sarcastic tone underscored the gap between the fight's pre-event hype and the reality of what transpired in the ring. Tyson's performance, though valiant, fell short of the legendary prowess fans had hoped to see. MMA legend Daniel Cormier offered a balanced perspective on the fight. He noted that many fans had hoped Tyson could secure a victory, especially given his impressive training videos leading up to the bout. However, Core acknowledged that the outcome revealed the stark difference between training and actual competition in the ring.
You know the craziest thing about this whole situation? And honestly, the production value and everything on Netflix was tremendous. But as we got closer, we got more interested in this fight. Honestly, everybody was watching this fight because Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson. You know, I was texting Rogan earlier, and I was like, I cannot resist the urge to watch it. He said, I'm going right now to watch the fight.
Cormier's analysis highlighted the challenges of assessing an older fighter's capabilities based on pre-fight footage. It served as a reminder that the physical and mental demands of a live fight are unparalleled even for legends like Tyson.
I think, though, that the wool was pulled over our eyes, right? We watched Mike do all these things, and we watched Mike in training, and you get the idea that he had a chance, but he really didn't have a chance to beat this kid tonight. And it showed very early. Fight starts. Mike gets forward, lands a beautiful jab that rocks Jake. And I think immediately that made Jake realize that he couldn't be reckless against him. But then as time went on, he realized that that threat was not as present as he might have thought.
Former boxer Tony Jeffrey pointed out a critical factor in Tyson's performance. He stated that Tyson hadn't have power in his legs, which significantly affected his ability to compete at his usual level. Jeff's observation provided insight into the physical limitations Tyson faced, explaining why he could not deliver the explosive performance fans expected. This analysis further contextualized the fight, emphasizing the impact of age and injuries on Tyson's ability to reply at his past dominance.
Because what he was great at doing is getting his feet close to his opponents, changing the angle and throwing them punches as he was moving, and it was this fast angle changes which helped him have all of the success that he did have in boxing. And with him being 58 years old, which he is, not unless you're going to tell me that's scripted as well, with all the people who's telling me this fight was scripted, time really does take its toll, especially when you've not been living the life of an athlete for over 20 years. Now, as much as you wanted to hope, and I wanted to hope, that we would see some little bits of the old Mike Tyson in there, it was sad we didn't. And if you ever seen Evander Holyfield when he fought Victor Belfort a few years ago when he was 58 years old, it was the same sort of thing. It was sad to see. But you might be thinking, well, if Mike Tyson was that bad, why didn't Jake Paul just knock him out? Because he was just moving slowly and he wasn't really moving his feet. He was like a sitting target for Jake to throw them punches. Why didn't Jake just put him away? Maybe you think the deal was Mike Tyson said, I'm not going to get knocked out, but I'll lose on points for my extra 10, 20 million quid. Maybe that's what you're thinking. Well, no. The reason why Jake didn't knock him out was because he couldn't knock him out.
Twitter user Warren Budget voiced suspicions about the fight's authenticity. They tweeted, everything was safe and under control for Jake. Bro ain't stupid. He wouldn't risk his career by losing versus a 58-yo Mike. Held back at the start, not to KO him, rigged, and scripted. This comment resonated with Fans who believe the fight was orchestrated to protect Jake Paul's reputation, the allegations of rigging highlighted broader frustrations with the commercialization of boxing and the perceived erosion of its competitive spirit. A former boxer FR criticized Jake Paul for his approach during the fight, particularly his decision to punch Mike Tyson in the head. The XF fighter called this move unnecessary and stated that Jake should not have done this. This critique added another dimension to the backlash, focusing on sportsmanship and the ethical considerations of targeting an older opponent. The comment fueled debates about Jake's fighting style and whether he prioritized winning over respecting his opponent.
But yeah, Mike Tyson shouldn't be getting in there with a 26-year-old man. And I know Jake Paul's a fucking joker and he can't fight and he's lived in clown world, but he still shouldn't be punching a 58-year-old man in the head. He just shouldn't be doing it. I don't care if it's Mike Tyson or a man on the street or someone out of the UFC, 58 years old. I mean, it's too old to be getting punched in the head. So I'm hoping that the contract's sensible and they're going to take the time a little bit. I mean, Jake Paul's probably going to try and chin him in it because he's got a massive ego and he wants everyone to believe he's a great fighter. I don't know what pleasure you can take from beating an old Mike Tyson. I don't know what you get. Like, say Danny Williams beat him. I mean, that's no disrespect to Danny Williams, but like a peak Mike Tyson, the peak Danny Williams is a mismatch. And Danny Williams beat him. He beat him because Mike Tyson was too old, finished. Mike Tyson's now 58, smoking weed, getting carried off airplanes because his back's fucked.
Despite his loss, Mike Tyson displayed remarkable resilience. In the ring, he appeared to absorb Jake Paul's punches well and continued to fight despite reportedly suffering a leg injury. Tyson's refusal to make his injury an issue during the fight demonstrated his professionalism and determination.
He the real deal. His hits was connecting. Every hit he was connecting, bro. But Mike, to be 58 years old, you got to give him his props. Bro was eating them hits. A lot of his hits was connected, but bro was eating them hits. He was showing you that you're not about to knock him out. Like, he was showing you, you're not about to knock him out. He was taking that shit. He was taking that shit. Pause. And he said he had a leg injury, but he ain't about to make that like no big thing. He still got up in there. And then he was biting his glove and he said that he got a biting sensation. He got a biting sensation problem. And I was like, I just started laughing, bro.
Fans praised Tyson's courage, viewing his performance as a testament to his enduring spirit. Even in the face of physical limitations, this resilience further highlighted the mismatch, as Tyson's determination was not enough to overcome the age and power.
When he bit what's his name's ear off, this was entertaining. This was just entertaining, bro. I hope y'all didn't take this too serious. It was just entertaining. He always wanted to fight Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson did this shit because he got paid. He got 20 million. He got 40 million. You know what I'm saying? It was entertainment, bro. But one thing about Jake, he stood his own, bro, against one of the greats. One of the legends, bro. Iron Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? And then when they asked Mike, are you done? You're not going to do this no more. Mike said, I don't know. It depends on the situation, but I'm not done.
While Jake Paul technically secured a win, it came at the expense of widespread criticism. Many fans felt that Tyson's legacy was tarnished by the fight, as it served more to bolster Jake's career than to honor Tyson's storied past. Critics argued that the fight was a missed opportunity to celebrate Tyson's legacy in a meaningful way.
I want to know how much Mike Tyson got paid for that fight, because he gave his legacy away for Jake Paul to make a name for himself. Jake Paul wins against another old man. The most rigged thing I've seen in a long time. Bro, Mike Tyson got paid millions of pounds just to walk in every round. Land no punches, throw no punches, nothing. Just walk around.
This sentiment underscored the broader discontent with the commercialization of boxing, where such mismatched fights are seen as prioritizing spectacle over substance.
Bro got paid millions for that. Fair play. Mike Tyson's the real winner here, because if you're fighting a 50-plus-year-old man, hyping it up and all that, then you be crazy. Now Jake Paul is gonna flex. Oh yeah, this is corrupt and rigged. Netflix, bro, their first ever big stream is the most rigged thing I've seen. the most scripted and rigged thing I've seen. I don't even know if I want to watch Netflix events anymore. Everyone stayed up for this crap.
Adding fuel to the fire, Mike Tyson's pre-fight comments suggested a lack of concern for legacy. He remarked, "Legacy is nothing," a statement that contrasted sharply with fans' reverence for his career. Tyson's indifference sparked debates about his motivations for the fight and whether financial incentives played a significant role. This remark left fans questioning whether the fight was truly representative of Tyson's storied career or merely a commercial endeavor. What are your thoughts on the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight? Was it a legitimate contest showcasing Tyson's enduring legacy and Jake's growth, or was it more of a commercial spectacle that undermined the competitive spirit of boxing?
If Mike Tyson threw that fight for $20 million, he sold his soul. Selling your soul is going against your I am. Selling your soul is going against your moral compass for financial gain or materialism, which is why you get this empty, soulless look in Mike's face, because it's regretful what he did, and that he doesn't care about legacy, which is an indication that he sold his soul. We know Netflix sat him down. Hey, we just got to make this look good. Hey, Mike, this is the new day and age. Think about the bag, think about the money. Let's not talk about the buffering fight that we had with Netflix last night, with all due respect. But I think Mike realized that signing a contract to do this and to script this fight was a big mistake.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.